Thanks for being patient. Go ahead.
Thank you both. Joe Stork with Human Rights Watch. I wanted to ask you, sir, Mr. Talabani, explain a little bit, if you could, the relationship of your organization, the Palestine, and the KDP counterpart organization with the SAISH, the KRG intelligence services. We have a situation of a SAISH representing, operating under the command of the KRG, and then the two major parties each have their own intelligence services. How does that work? And then my second question is, has your organization, or have the Peshmerga, particularly PUK Peshmerga, operated at all with the militias, particularly with al-Shaabi, on any of the fronts? Okay, thank you.
A lot of pressure to answer some of these questions. Okay, so 4 years ago, actually, so SAISH, first of all, is an internal security organization similar to FBI that falls under the Prime Minister. But the Palestine Zanyari Agency, which 4 years ago, the name changed from only being Palestine and changed to the Agency of Protection and Information, which is Zanyari Palestine Agency. And they created the Regional Security Council, which Mr. Masroor Barzani heads, and to be able to coordinate and share information better, they decided to have the heads of these services, both Palestine and Zanyari, and the head of the SAISH, and the head of the military intelligence to be members of this council, headed by Masroor Barzani, to be able to exchange information better. I have to say that we haven't done a good job of that. We haven't, unfortunately, we've mismanaged that, because I can tell you since the beginning of the fight against Daesh, we have not had one single meeting on Daesh, and the Security Council has not met once. But we told the Parliament and we told our people that we are uniting this intelligence organization. So we share the same budget, so we take from the same budget. But I feel like we've lied to our people, to be honest with you, because we are not coordinating and cooperating. I personally, my organization has a relationship with probably over 30 countries, an intelligence exchange relation, but unfortunately we have not been exchanging with our KDP brothers in the Palestine. I don't know who's to blame. I could be the one to blame, they could be the one to blame, but I think Masroor Barzani has the responsibility, because he is the head of this Security Council, and it's his responsibility to bring everybody to the table and share information and intelligence better. And your second question, sorry, was in regards. I think that's not fair on PUK's part, to be honest with you. A lot of the time there's people are misguided and misled about PUK's Peshmerga's corps. It's not just PUK. We don't operate under PUK any longer. We operate under the forces of Ministry of Peshmerga, even though there's a Unit 70 and Unit 80. But in some areas, PUK shares a border with the Iraqi government. KDP doesn't. KDP shares a border only with the Turks and Daesh at the moment. We share a border with Daesh, Iran on one side, and the Iraqi government. They are completely disconnected from Iraq. So we have to deal. There's checkpoints 100 meters away from each other. Sometimes there's conflict. We have to deal with those guys. And it's not fair on PUK's part to say that PUK is cooperating with the al-Shaabi. We've got the biggest problem with the militias right now than anybody has. And I see them as a bigger threat in the future for us, because we are neighbors with them.
Okay, Nusayba.